Hey there. So it is about 10 minutes until bedtime. Shouldn't be looking at a computer, but I'm looking at one now because I need to do my video. And while I said I wanted to start doing the videos in the morning, this morning was a whirlwind because I was getting ready for an event that I was putting on with my Challenge Detroit alumni group. So if you want to learn about Challenge Detroit, Google them, challengedetroit.org. Fellowship that I was part of. I'm the VP of the alumni group, and we did a skillshare event today. And there were 4 presentations. And one of the presentations was really helpful for me because it ties to a lot of the feelings and emotions that I've been speaking on and witnessing lately. And the topic was surviving imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is this feeling that your success isn't because of your own skills or attributes or talents, and you attribute your success to luck because you look at people who are successful and think that you are somehow different from them, that they have some special secret awesomeness going on for them and they've earned their success, whereas you somehow landed where you landed if you did reach some modicum of success, but you essentially feel like an imposter. I know I've been witnessing that syndrome lately, as I talked about in some of my previous videos, comparing myself to some of my successful friends and feeling like I don't even know how I'm getting away with being friends with some of the amazing people that I get to call my friends, because they are doing tremendous things, impactful things, adventurous things in their lives, and I feel very average comparatively. So I feel like an imposter in my friendships, oftentimes more so than in my professional life. And when I think about my 3 closest friends, the ones who I spend the most amount of time with and who I see most often, with each of those 3 individuals, I feel like, how in the hell do you consider me to be a friend of value when you are such a go-getter? You're so far in your spiritual life or in your career or in, your personal goals, and I am where I am. An interesting thing in the Skillshare that was shared today about imposter syndrome is that it can only exist when we view these people as, one, drastically different from us, and don't realize that they have their own struggles and quirks and whatever. And I had some initial hesitation to this thought where, like, they were saying if you were mindful and realized that they too suffer, they gave some weird examples, like they may have some weird sexual kinks or whatever, or some fears or anxieties. If you realize that about them, then you realize they're no different from you, and then you wouldn't feel like an imposter. But I don't like the idea of, and maybe it's because it keeps me safe in my zone of averageness, but I don't like the idea of needing to lessen the greatness that I see in a person by attributing flaws to them or anxieties to them or fears. Like, I guess an example of that is, like, I don't want to know what, my heroes are afraid of, and I don't want to know how they appear when life is horrible and when things are sucky, because I want to get away from that my dang on self. But in reality, in truth, everyone suffers, everyone has anxieties, everyone poops. That's the thing that connects us all, unless someone has, some dietary issues. But for the most part, I believe everyone poops. I poop every day. And I'm pretty sure the people I look up to, like Oprah and Lisa Nichols, I don't know for sure. I've never been to their bathroom, but I'm hoping that they poop every day. And my 3 best friends, who I think are amazing. I know for sure one of them poops because she has texted me a picture of her poop that was shaped like an infinity symbol, which made me somehow feel inadequate about my poop. But that's a whole nother story. Me and my friends are very vulnerable and open with each other, apparently. Anywho, enough about poop. More about imposter syndrome. Have you ever felt this this feeling like somehow you've sneaked into a really great relationship, or somehow snuck your way into a professional career when you don't have the proficiencies that everyone thinks you have. I feel that way about a lot of different areas in life. Specifically with graphic design, I get asked to do a lot of graphic design work. Like, a lot. People introduce me to other people as a graphic designer, and I'm not a graphic designer. I'm an art director who took like a semester of graphic design classes. And so when people think of me as a design expert, sometimes I feel a bit of imposter syndrome. I'm like, I know people who are actual designers. But one of the pieces of advice that was given in this Skillshare workshop that I have used as a tool, and I have found a lot of relief in doing, is anytime you are complimented by someone, anytime someone writes a nice thing about you on LinkedIn or a recommendation letter, or someone even just leaves you a voicemail that's telling you how they appreciate something you've done, take that soundbite or that snippet or that word, those words, and write them in a notebook, or for me, I store them in Evernote. And I have a note on Evernote. I'll try and pull it up. It is called, where is it? Compliments, praise, testimonials, gratitude, and encouragement from others. So these are things where people have thanked me for something that I've done, given me praise for some work that I've done, complimented me, or given testimonials to my work. And I have a letter, I don't even know, there's at least 20 pieces of just things people have said about me in this note. I started it summer of 2015. And obviously I've received a lot more, praise and compliments and things in between then. But I don't just copy and paste every time someone says, thanks, that was awesome. Like, there are things that take me off guard, or, bring out some emotion in me. The ones that are most impactful are ones from people you don't expect. I want to share a few. Again, this is me sharing a tool that I use and also helping myself. So if ever you feel like I'm bragging in these videos, please stop them. This is, for me, helping to reinforce, some positive growth for myself as well as for folks who are viewing. So because I felt like an imposter lately, I'm going to read some compliments, praise, testimonials, gratitude, and encouragement from others. So this one is from a woman who attended, I'm going to keep these anonymous, a woman who attended one of my Toast to You events. She said, "Precious Brandi, I thought about you yesterday. You have such a beautiful, loving, and authentic spirit. You are, indeed, a daughter of Barnabas," who is the daughter of encouragement. It was a blessing and pleasure meeting you. I'm looking forward to attending a future event. Peace, love, and blessings to you. It was very nice, very short, very sweet. But this was a person who I didn't have a deep amount of connection to. We had some interaction, and they just thought to send these loving words. Here's something where someone read an article about me that was posted by an app that I use. Here's a great example of imposter syndrome. So there's an app that I use called Bestow, and it takes the leftover change from your purchases to donate to a cause, a nonprofit of your choice, or a charity. They use your change to make donations. So they call the users of their apps change makers, because we're making change with our spirit change. They wrote an article on me where they did this interview about, why I give and things I love to do and what change I feel the world needs. And they labeled it Brandi Keeler is the change maker of the week, which makes it seem like they're highlighting me for a change that I'm making versus highlighting that I'm a user of their app. And so a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, Brandi, yay, we see that you've gotten this honor." I'm like, no, wait, that's what they call people who use their app. Like, I didn't do anything specific for me to be getting, attention. I felt like a true imposter. Like, they even shared the article on my, college's newsletter and social media. I was like, oh my God. People read it and still somehow felt the need to reach out. And I was like, I didn't do anything but thanks. But this person emailed me, and this is a person who I didn't have extended conversation with. And it was just a coworker who works at the organization, but not on the same team or anything. And she just said, I just wanted to let you know that I enjoyed reading the article on you in the newsletter. You are, all caps, remarkable. God has blessed you with many special gifts. Love that you are working with the youth. They are our future. And I was like, oh, that is so nice. Like, for her to get that from the article, even though it didn't say that I'm doing anything, particularly new or groundbreaking, was very precious. Yeah. I'm just looking at the note now, not even reading anything. It's just making me feel warm fuzzies right now, and it's not giving me like this egotistical feel like, yeah, I'm awesome. It's not that as much as is the things that I have done, or the things that I do have an impact. People notice them, and I've impacted people. People feel grateful for things I have, or people have taken away lessons from classes that I've offered. And it's just, there are people who are taking me for being friends with other people besides themselves. Like, I have a friend who I've been mentoring since he was in high school, and his sister just wrote a note thanking me for being his friend. So it's like, wow, I'm a cool friend, I guess, So, not going to dive into all these notes. I'm going to continue reading them because I'm getting emotional just glancing over them. But that is something that I would encourage you to do if you are feeling like your work or the things you do don't make a difference, or you aren't sure of the impact you're having on others, or if you feel like an imposter in your workplace or in any of your relationships. Start to create a notebook or just, a digital note of praise, gratitude, compliments, and thanks that you've gotten. Anytime someone sends you an email where they thank you for something that you've done, take that and save it for later. You may need it to be reminded that people value you. Or, if you have recommendation letters that folks have written you, copy and paste that whole thing, or chunks where they speak specifically to your character. Obviously this doesn't count if you wrote the letter yourself and had someone sign off on it. I don't like recommendation letters like that. I like people to actually tell me what they think of me. But yeah, I'm gonna continue reading this note because I feel a little bit better about myself. Actually, I'm not gonna continue reading this note right now because it's bedtime. I'm gonna go to bed. But I am going to use this tool that I created, and today was reminded, thanks Cody Grant, reminded to use, because it is a helpful tool. So hopefully you found this nourishing mind, body, or soul. And remember that change is inevitable, but growth is a choice. I am Brandi Keeler, and I will talk to you later. Bye.